and you have no control over the squeezing, and this is a very quick way to get bitterness in your hummus. I say never work with this tool. I am Guy. For over a decade I ran Sir Hummus in Amsterdam. This series is where I share how we made the hummus people loved so much, so you can make high-level hummus in your very own kitchen. It's my way of saying thank you after all these years. For the first 2 years I was making hummus. Some days it was great, and other days I had this weird bitter flavor and I couldn't understand what's going on. And I found out that lemons can cause bitterness if you don't handle them correctly. How you squeeze them and which tools you use to squeeze them, and it's very important. Bitterness in the lemon can come from two places. You have essential oils in the peel, in the yellow part, and if you squeeze hard and you break it, it releases these essential oils. They're bitter and that can go into the hummus and ruin it. Inside the lemon, you have the white part, the pith it's called, and this white part is very bitter. So if you squeeze the lemon too hard, after you get all the good juice, you start getting the bitterness from the white part. And if that goes into your hummus, that's all you're gonna taste. I like to look at food a bit like music. The lemon for me is like the high notes, the treble in the music, so it adds a nice acidity, which is very important to the hummus. If bitterness from the lemon goes into the hummus, all you're gonna taste is this like very harsh bitterness, which is like sound, and it's gonna ruin your hummus. So I wanna show you how to squeeze the lemon and which tool to use to get it right. You probably have one of these at home. This is very problematic for squeezing lemons. When you squeeze this, you're gonna crush the peel and you're gonna get that essential oil that is bitter, and you have no control over the squeezing of the white part. And this is a very quick way to get bitterness in your hummus. I say never work with this tool. Work with something like this. You can really control the squeezing. I'm being very gentle with it, so I don't go crazy. I go gentle, just trying to feel the juice coming out. And whenever I start to feel resistance, I start to feel that there is no more juice, I stop. And I rather stop 1 second and leave 10% of juice in there rather than going into that white part that is bitter. Now some of you might wonder why I cut the tip of the lemons. For me, if there is this little tip, it's harder to feel the lemon, so I like to cut it before I squeeze so I have better control. And again, as you can see, it's almost all empty. There is still a bit of juice in there, but I'm not touching the white part. Once you squeeze the lemons, is to take a fine mesh sieve, pour the lemon into the sieve. That's gonna help catch any particles that might be bitter. I never shake this. I just let this drip and I turn this around so all the juice comes out. But I don't wanna give this a shake because then the bitter particles will come through. So just give it a circle, give it a second, and whatever you have here inside, that goes to the trash with the pure juice without any particles, without any bitterness. This is a very important step in making good hummus. Some people like to use citric acid instead of the lemons. It has a more punchy, intensive flavor to it, and it's more consistent because you always know what you're gonna get. For me, I feel like the taste is a bit less natural. With the lemons, you get a lot of notes that you don't get with the citric acid. That makes everything taste nicer. If you don't have lemons, you can use citric acid. Personally, I prefer to keep it a bit more pure, a bit more natural, and that's why I like to use lemons. Even when we make huge batches in our place, we just squeeze carefully a lot of lemon. Just a few extra tips. Number one, use fresh lemons. Usually their flavor is gonna be nicer and they're gonna be juicier. Second tip, don't store your lemons in the fridge. Use them at room temperature, they're gonna be easier to squeeze. And the third one I wanna show you, roll your lemons a bit before you squeeze them, the juice is gonna come out easier. Join me in the next part, which is gonna be the making of the hummus. There is a lot to unfold there. Here's the link, and let me know if you have any questions below.